We're here again. Do you still need a record label in 2025? Let's ask ourselves those questions. Artists, let me ask you a question. Do you still think you need a record label? Looking at how things have evolved, how, the era of music have changed a lot. It has shifted and that dimension, and we're accepting, new genres that we've never had in Afrobeats before. So let's talk, let's be honest. In 2025, do you really need a record label, to succeed in the music industry? Ask yourself this question once again. Now let's look at it this way. The answer is not as simple as, yes or no, but one thing for sure, the game has changed. It has totally changed. I love what we're coming up with. I love the new feel and new vibe to music that we're putting out there, in our recent society. I love it. You go to party and you've never heard this sound, but as soon as you listen, your body moves, your body shakes. Let's look at how music has shifted. There was a time when the only way to go mainstream was to sign with a major. You know, that's because they controlled the money, the media, and the distribution. But right now, independent artists are building their own empires with phone, laptop, and the right mindset that they just carry on with, which I really love. I love that they are coming up with new ways to actually put themselves out there and their craft. So you can reach fans, worldwide through TikTok, X, Instagram. You can distribute your music with platforms like DistroKids, which we all know, which is very popular, TuneCore, AudioMark, even Boomplay. And you don't need permission to actually post your own work, just like the way you need permission when you're signed under a label as an artist. So, you have your free will to do whatever you want. Now, the indie advantage, like to be independent, what are the advantages to be indie? Let's look at it. When you go independent, you own everything, your music, you control the drop, you choose the brand, and most importantly, guess what? You keep the masters. You see the advantage of being indie. Now, plus with tools like Spotify for artists and Apple Music Analytics, which you know who's which you get to know who is listening, where they're from, what country. You get to see every data analytics, on these apps. And they're specifically designed for artists, and what's working for you. That's power in your palms, just by using your phone, your laptop. Now, so ask yourself this question: why sign? Why do you want to sign? Ask. Now, don't get me wrong, labels still, have value. They bring major funding, industry connections, media exposure, and sponsorships. It's a very big deal. You need it. So it's not just your money does not only come from streaming. But here's the catch. Here's the catch. They want a piece of what you already built. You know, they don't always help they don't always help you grow. They invest after you've proven that this is what you're worth. So you have to prove yourself to them to be able to even sign you to begin with, because they don't want to gamble anymore. Era has changed. They don't want to gamble anymore to say, what if we end up signing this and he blows up? Should we? They don't do that anymore. So if you're an artist today, the real question isn't, should I sign? That should not be your real question. What should be your real question? The real question is, what do you already own before you sign anything? Ask yourself that question. What is it that you have that they value, that they need, that they can't just find it anywhere? So, because ownership is the real leverage in 2025, you have to bring value also as an artist. So, it's not just about having good vocals, there are other things too that they look at, because a lot of artists out there, people out there are good. So, what do you bring to the table? Please follow House of Nanda, where we break down the real music business and tag an artist who needs to hear this today.